Hello, everyone. This is a Sunday. Hello, this is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations. And I wanted to pop on for a minute to see how we're doing, to see if you need any help. This is an open live that you can ask me questions on anything that you may be considering. Today, we do have a topic for today. And the topic for today is stay strong, take control of your life. Sounds easy to do, right? Is stay strong, take control of your life. If this is your first time on the channel, my name is Evelyn Benton Phelan. I'm an international fashion designer, and I'm here to inspire you to take control of your life with your gift and just prosper in every way you want. Everything that you want to accomplish, you have it at your fingertips or you have it in your voice to speak into existence. So I am here on a Sunday. This is an unusual time for me to be on. We're normally on Thursdays from 8:30 until 8:30ish until, and I'm live in the store today, and I'm just here to see if anyone needs some help or there's any questions, and then we can answer the questions, and you can see what's going on. So while people are coming on, I have on a lot of people were talking about the what you call it, the bonnet hats. So today I decided to come and show you a bonnet hat that I wear, that I have, that is actually reversible. And I'm also showing you the bonnet hat so that for those who think of it as like leisure wear, I'm showing that you could wear it also like casual wear. Okay, so this is a way that you could wear it casual, and it's also reversible. And I will wait. Now I am in the store. I'm in the back of the store, and if I do have to get up and go and get a manager to help someone, I will. So I'm doing it live before it's too late, and the store is actually open. So while we're waiting on people to come on, I know it's a sad day out there in our United States, and we have to take a moment and just breathe and just give prayer to the family of the gentleman, the nurse in Minnesota. So I just want to pause for a moment and give that city prayer and our nation prayer on humanity. And just it's just not right to take someone's life without giving them their due. So without further ado, I like to take a moment in prayer for Alex Petty from Minnesota who lost his life trying to help someone else. Okay. Okay. We got someone watching us from Canada and it's snowing. You know, it is really, really cold in different parts of the United States. I know Canada gets it all the time. And Canada can be cold when it's not even winter. Canada can be cold and everybody's okay with it. But I'm actually in the south of the United States, southeast to be exact, where today it's about 80 degrees. And I mean, we actually have air conditioning on, but it won't be like that tomorrow. Tomorrow we should be at about 20 degrees. So it just goes back and forth. But if you're watching me for the first time, this is a pop-up live show. The reason that I'm doing today, and because it's nearing the end of the month, is because I really, really, really want everybody to get a jump on 2026. And you can't jump on 2026 in March, in May, in June, July, August, September, October. You got to jump on it from the beginning of the year. Actually, you have to start before the year begins so it can be repetitive. And usually, this time of the year is when you kind of slip back to where you were, and that's not an option with me. This is Evelyn. This is a boot camp. We got to stay focused. We got to be ready. Okay, so when you stay focused and you take control of your life, you are going to be just you first of all, you're going to help others because they're going to be inspired by how your life changed. And you can control the tone and you can control the momentum. So as you come on, it's 19. Oh my God. Oh, I don't even know how to do 19. She says 19. Where are you at? Yvonne. Okay, you're in Canada. You're saying it's 19 Celsius. Oh wow. Okay, it's someone's in from Atlanta and it is cold and raining. Now that's two bad things. And Atlanta is 285, 95, 20. That's those roads. Everybody's going fast, and the rain turned to ice, and then we put people in danger. So if you're watching and you're not speaking right now, you're not chatting. If you don't have to go out, don't go out. And even if you don't have to go out, don't call people to come to you. Meaning, like, don't order things that has to be delivered because you put them in danger. You put our law enforcement in danger, our paramedics in danger. It's just a good time to get with your gift and multiply your gift and make as many things as you possibly can. She said minus 19, not just 19, minus 19. Oh, I don't think I've ever been somewhere. Well, I was in Italy when it was minus 19, but it was so cold I was just like this. But wow, thank you for letting us know. Okay, you in South Perry. Perry gets cold. Perry get cold. Perry, Georgia really gets cold. Okay. Um, I'm gonna tell you what's going on with me. I got a really good blessing yesterday. I had a gentleman, I don't know if you've been watching, but I had a gentleman to come in and I'm making things for his family for a funeral. And they came in and they were so impressed with the store and they were picking up everything. They were buying this and that and this and that and ordered all these garments they want me to make for them in 2 weeks. And they asked me all these questions. I mean, they gave me a drill sergeant. I didn't know them, and they just came in and they just started asking me a lot of questions, and then I answered all the questions. I mean, about 20 questions. Where are you? Where'd you come from? How long you been in business? Um, how did you get so much inventory? Uh, where do you order it from? I mean, they gave me asked all these questions, right? So I answered. And so by the end of that, they end up ordering about 20 pieces. And I got 20 days to make 20 pieces and plus everything else I have to do. Okay. So I took on the challenge. Then, as I was talking, two of the people, well, two sets of people are twins, high school kids. One mother had two sets of twins, and it's a boy and a girl and a boy and a girl. I did a lot of twins, and I've even did an outfit for somebody who had two different feet. They had their mama foot and they had their daddy foot. And I've had people who have two size feet. I mean, I don't work with thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And I work with a lot of twins. In fact, I've actually employed twins, but I've never had two sets of twins that are both sets of twins are athletes and they're just like 2 years apart and they both are male and female. And that was just so cool to know that I had two sets of twins. You guys will see them before the end of 2 weeks. You'll see all of them in their outfits. But I was just amazed that God had given me that task to help funeralize their grandmother and then the dad's mother, and just be able to do it in their tribal cloth. And it was a blessing. And let me tell you something else. That's why I'm telling you to stay strong. Stay strong, take control of your life. Okay. I got a lot of tips before. I've never gotten a tip this big before I even started. Guess how much I want the people this live, guess how much tip I got yesterday. Just put in a number. So Pearls Creations, tell me what you think a tip would be for something like that. Somebody who's just knew you, or Wonderful Makes by Danielle. Tell me what kind of tip you think that you would give somebody if you ordered a large order like that before you ever made a thing. I'm waiting on an answer. Yvonne from Canada, what would you tip somebody if someone you wanted to make garments for them? No answers, no questions, no idea. Well, I'm going to tell you, I got a $345 tip before I even started the garments. Pearl said 500, not quite 500, Pearl. But I got a $345 tip. And I was like, oh my God, $345. And then they asked me to make them jewelry to match everything, which I haven't started on the jewelry yet. So I'll start beginning on their items tomorrow. But I'm just talking, I'm rambling right now because I want to know what you guys are doing. Tell me what you're having difficulty with. Tell me what are some of your goals. And if you don't tell me, I'm going to start talking about other stuff. Okay, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about earrings. See these earrings? I'm going to talk about sewing or making something that doesn't require sewing. Okay, these are pair of earrings. All right. You're right. Most people won't pay until they see something first. Well, usually you ask for a tip once the garment. You don't ask for a tip, but if they want to tip you, you get it at the end. But what you have to do when you price your garments, you have to price it that you have some of your tip built into the cost. Because some people just don't have it. But you have to price your garments so that if you got to go back and do any corrections or if you got to stay late to get it right, then you will have at least some kind of cushion in there that will give you some gratuity. Okay. Okay. This is a pair of earrings this pair of earrings that I made with the earring. Okay. See this right here? This is an earring. And it had a hook, it had a little thing in it, a little hook on it. So this is an earring that's turned upside down. It's turned upside down. And it's turned upside down. I apologize for that. And I got some leather with it. So take a look at this. I got some leather on this to make a pair of earrings. This is a leather that's pulled inside of the earring, that's pulled on side of a bigger platform for an earring. I'm talking, this is your night, this is your day to tell me what your needs are. But this is something that you can do if you don't even sew. Now, a lot of your people that do like drama and different things, or full-size women, or women who have, some type of garment that requires a bigger earring than a smaller earring, they can wear something like this. So what I like for you to do is start experimenting with things that, just kind of show you what it looked like. Start experimenting with things that you can do that doesn't require sewing, and it could be a remnant. Now, this is leather, but it doesn't have to be leather. It could be any type of treasure fabric that you have left over that you can create a pair of earrings. So right here, I have a earring again. I'm going to show you again. An earring right here. Got a few rhinestones at the top, and just pull the leather over it. Then on the edge, what you do is you do a little black, get your black marker, and you finish off the edge. Okay, this is the earrings, right? This is the purse. This is a purse. A lot of you are telling me you're making bags. You can make a purse with no sewing, no sewing machine sewing, I should say that. So this purse right here, if you're snowed in and you're trying to figure out, I'm gonna move back a little bit so you can see it. If you're trying to figure out what to do while it's snowing, while you have bad weather, while your electricity is out so you can't use your sewing machine, I want to show you some things that you could do that requires no manual sewing machine. So on the side of this, okay, it's got Velcro. Even the Velcro is glued on. The Velcro is glued on. The sides are glued here. And you take one of those big needles and you just whip it on the side. Okay, you whip it on the side. You whip it on the other side. It's nothing fancy. Don't have any type of pocket or anything, but you could glue a pocket in there. But this is your clutch, your leather clutch. This piece is glued on. This is another earring. This is glued on. And then you have your earrings and your bag, and you're ready to go out. So this can be done with any type of thick fabric that's durable. And then you can make you a nice clutch, and you can make you a pair of earrings. Da-da. No, you could be just sitting there. You don't have no electricity. You got your blankets on, but your mind's going, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? But that's what you can do. Now I'm going to talk about this hat I'm wearing. Try to turn my phones off so I can make sure that we stay focused. Sometimes they'll ring anyway. Now you see this hat that I'm wearing? Okay, I wore this hat. I got a couple more I'm going to show you. All right, I got a couple more with the mud cloth on it. I know you all know about the bucket hats. These are very popular right now. Everybody want a nice bucket hat. It's winter, it's snowing, you want the nice hat. And then I made another one. This is a mud cloth and some spring colors. Okay. But the one that I have on, I'm gonna show you now. This is live. This is natural. I'm country. I'm gonna show you all my knotted head. Okay. Okay. This hat, I wore it on this side because I got on a black top. I got on a black top, black shirt saying I am Black History. That's what I'm wearing today. That's how I'm feeling today. Okay. Okay. So I got on this hat. Now, you know, when you make these hats and you put a lining in them, now I can make this hat now to go with a coat, right? So what I want to tell all the ones who are making these type of hats is to go to the next level with your hats. Don't just make your hats be like, you know, they're lingerie or they're just for a certain type of clientele. If you take this hat, I'm gonna tell you a secret. If you put any type of African fabric with whatever you're doing, you will win every single time. If you take some real authentic African fabric and put with anything that you are sewing, you'll win every time. The fabric has life. It wasn't just mass produced. So if you're making some silk bonnets and you incorporate some culture with it, now I say African because I'm a Black woman, but whatever culture I'm speaking to you, if you put your country's colors with this type of hat, you will win. You have to support where you're from, no matter what it is. You will win every single time. You will not be looking for $50. $50 will be looking for you. $70 will be looking for you. $100 will be looking for you. So the same hat, right? I'm at a different event. I'm at church. I can put a little hat pin in it. Okay. I can put, I don't want to be bothered in it like this. You know, put a bib on it. And even if I took my natural hair and put it all up and filled the hat out, I got my hair kind of tied down. But if I put my hat on and I did this, and even if you went to the grocery store, people would be walking you down and say, "Oh my God, I need that hat. Can you make it for me?" So what I have mud cloth. Now this one, I want it soft, so I don't have any interfacing in it. Okay. So this one is soft, denim at the top, and mud cloth on the side. Okay. And the only reason that this hat is moving like this is because it's got elastic in the middle. Okay. It's got elastic in the middle. So some people like to just make the same style or simple styles because they enjoy that. I don't suggest that being your only thing, but if you're going to do it, why not get paid at it? Like dearly. Okay. I don't want nobody saying they ain't got no money in the bank. Because if you can sew a straight stitch, you got thousands of dollars in the bank. You just hadn't claimed them. They looking for you. Okay. So I'm gonna put it back this way. Okay, this side is blue denim. Inside is black cloth. Just a black. It's not really a cotton. It's maybe a poly cotton. And then it's just a trim on the inside, like a binding that I put on it, the same fabric on the inside. In fact, it's not really a binding. What I did was I made the fabric longer. So when I turned it under, the binding is already there. So it's not a separate binding. I just made the lining longer. So when I turned it under, it's the same. That saved time. So now I have on a black hat. I can run out the house, get to this 5 o'clock meeting. Hey, I'm ready, y'all. Okay, so hopefully that inspired somebody, and those who just like to make bonnets, or those who make bonnets, or those who are looking for something different. If you put this with any type of, fabric, it's just 2 hats inside out and the binding at the top. Just think of that. When you cut the fabric out, just cut it out twice. Instead of cutting a solid lining, you can just do the lining where it has a different, see how this has something different than this? And you can just do something different. And this right here will get you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I mean, $75, $85, $100, you add the scarf with it. And that's what you like to do. Do your assembly line, make them up, put them on a hat. This will sell anywhere like that. Anywhere. You got the right color, you got the right attitude. And see, when you have the elastic in it, it can go for a big head to a really, really small head. It's one of those one size fit most. So you can't do it. I mean, you can't not do something simple sometimes. Sometimes you just got to do something simple. Okay, let's see. You guys are not asking me no questions. Okay, the reason we're here tonight is because I want you to stay strong. I want you to take control of your life. What does control of your life mean? Control of your life means being able to be able to bounce back, really. It doesn't mean you won't fall to some hardships. It doesn't mean you won't cry. It doesn't mean that you won't feel neglected. It simply means that you will be able to bounce back. And most of the time when you have to bounce back, you have to have your finances in order. Either your finances or your credit. Like I saw someone today that I like a lot, and they were on YouTube and they were talking about everybody is not broke. Okay. They said everybody is not broke because it's so cold outside. When they went to the store, the shelves were empty. Now, do that make any sense? What it means is that everybody doesn't have bad credit. It doesn't mean that everybody's not broke. So if you get your finances together, and if you just do a few things that I say, I promise you, you're going to make tenfold over and over and over and over and over. And if you don't do it, you're going to have setbacks. And the reason that I say setbacks is also good because a setback is a good way to have a comeback, right? So every time you might do something that you thought you could do by yourself, and then you realize that I should have listened or I should have did that, it just means it's going to take you a little bit more time to learn. Okay. And so once you learn, then you're going to get better and you won't doubt yourself. Okay. It says, I'm building my inventory right now. I'm trying to price my bags. No, don't say trying. Do as hard as you can to say, I am learning to price my bags. Okay. Because you already did all the trying. You made it, Miss Sweet Pearl. You already made it. Okay. This is what I mean. Okay. If you're looking at making money in 2026, I'm going to come back to that question. If you're looking at making money in 2026 and making money fast, How much money do you think you can make in a day? How much money you think you can make in a day if you kept doing it the way you're doing it? And if you say $200, are you making $200 right now? Okay, this is an honest question. She said, I can, this is Danielle. Danielle says, I can sew pretty much anything, but making myself, but marketing myself is my problem. Okay. Okay. Cats and food says not daily. Says she can make $200 and not daily. Okay. So how much can you make a day daily, Miss Cats? Cats. I want to make sure I'm saying it right. Cats and food. How much do you think you can make a daily? Okay, so you say you can make $50 daily. Okay, it's cats and food. Okay, so do you make cats food? Do you make cats food, or that's just you love cats and food? I love dogs. I love dog. I got two little dogs. Okay, she says she $50. She can make $50 a day. All right. Okay, so let's go to fit. We have $50 a day, and let's say we make $50 a day, and it's a 5-day work week. That's $250 a week. Okay, so let me know if that's consistent. Do you do that now? Do you make $50 a week? And then wonderful says I can make it's marketing myself is my problem. Okay, wonderful. Can you tell me about what about the price of your items that you're selling? Okay. Okay, so I'm talking to two people right now. And Cats and Food says she makes more money. Um, she makes more money and in the warmer climate. Okay. And then Cats and Food says she's in Philly and it's freezing. Yes, it is. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something what just happened to me from somebody in Philly. I was on my way to get ready for you to come on live, and I checked my phone, and someone said, "I owe you some money. Can I send it to you by Cash App or Zelle?" And I was like, "Hmm, I don't remember. I don't know what she's talking about." And so I went back through my messages, and she was talking about something that happened that I did for her in 2024. And she said to me on a text, she said, "You did something for me, and you made me a hat when I told you that my husband had passed, and you mailed me a hat." And she said, "I've been wearing the hat, and I never looked in the box. And you left me a nice message and some earrings about how to deal with the death of my husband." And she says, "I want to send you some money today. Can I Zelle you?" And she was from Philly, stuck in the snow. So I was like, "Oh my gosh!" When I did it, I didn't do it for money. I did it as a gift. And she said, "I must send you some money today because you helped me at a time when I didn't know what I was going to do, and your words was just so comforting to me." And I had just lost my dad, and I had done lost my mom. So, and I was just telling her how I dealt with it. And so she was just so happy that I gave her a gift while she was grieving her husband. And she said, "It's 2 years now, and I'm still going through it, but I'm doing better every day." So I'm trying to tell you that you can make money in the snow. Now, how do you make money in the snow? How do you make money in the snow? Okay, you make money in the snow because you're online and you're selling to people that is not in the snow, and you're selling to people that have plans after the snow. That's how you make money in the snow, and that's why you pay for coaching. Okay, if you get some coaching, and when you have spurts that you can make a lot of things, and once you set it up on your site, on the right site, you will be making money because it's sending it to millions. It has a potential to send it to over 63 million people, but it will line up the people who are looking for what you have. So when you're selling or you getting the proper coaching, you will get the coaching that will help you sell no matter what climate you're in. I know it sounds weird because the reason I do well, I'm gonna be honest with you, the reason I do well is because I'm well traveled. I'm in a very, very warm state. I travel a lot and I have homes in different states, but the reason that I like Florida is because of all the greenery, and I get to be creative, and I see sun, and I don't just see concrete. I see lakes. I see a lot of environment, and it's an international city. So if I got to go somewhere out of the country between Florida and Georgia, I can get out really quick. I can get on an international flight really quick, whether if I'm in Atlanta or if I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, or wherever I am in Atlanta. It's not that far to get to Hartsford Airport to get out. Okay. And in Florida, it's an international city. So in Orlando, I could get out anywhere. But when you're in a hot state, it's hard to think of cold weather garments or hats because you only think about where you are. But once you get some coaching, excuse me, once you get some coaching, you can go to other places that's looking for what you have. So when you put yourself in a box, you can only only see in that box. Okay? It's like you put yourself in a small pot and you're saying, I I I'm making this, but I don't know who's gonna buy it because it's a hot item, or I'm making this lingerie and I don't know who want it because it's freezing outside. Because see what you fail to realize is all of you are business owners. Everyone that's telling me what they can do, you are a business owner, whether you believe it or not. You're producing stuff, you're making things, you're getting paid for it, whether it's a small amount or a large amount, whether it's a small quantity or a large quantity. You are a small business owner, but you can't think small. You have to think bigger. And it's hard to think bigger when you're like right here. It's like it's hard to think that you can have $10,000 in the bank and you only have 20. Can I get an amen? I'm not talking about I'm not talking about money that comes from your income. I'm talking about money that comes from your hands, your gift. Okay? So if you are small and you're thinking small, it's very difficult to think that you can think big. But there's a law of economics to get there, and you can't avoid it. Like you can't just you just like somebody become a track star. It doesn't happen overnight. It's practice. It's practice. It's winning. It's losing. It's getting better. It's more practice, winning. Then you become a gold medal winner. Okay, so when you're on the channel, you're working on a Sunday. This is actually work. You're working on a Sunday. You're learning how to do some things that you don't know how to do, and you need to get there. Because if you didn't know you need to get there, you wouldn't be here. You'd be somewhere else watching the drama that's going on today. You'll be still saying, "Oh man, that was wrong. Oh, why did they do that? Oh, that's horrible." But you're learning. You're studying. You're with a group of people on this live chat that wants to share they their ups and their downs. So what bothers me is when I see somebody who has talent and they got a $20 problem. What bothers me is when I see somebody who got some skills and they got a $50 problem. What bothers me is when I see somebody got so much talent and so much going on that they got a $1,200 problem. How could that be? Okay, I'm gonna tell you a Bible story. You know, Noah was told to build this ark, and Noah had never seen water, never seen rain. And they said, Noah, we want you to build an ark. Noah had to plant the trees, y'all. Noah had to plant the trees and let the trees grow, then cut the trees down, then build the ark, then get one of each animal to get on the ark and save all the animals that we now enjoy. So Noah had to be obedient. He had to trust. He had to trust and he had to obey, and then he saved us. Okay? I'm going to tell you another one. It's Black history, right? There's a man called Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass was a slave. He was an abolitionist. He knew his rights. He studied law. He studied how to do this, how to do that. But guess what happened to Frederick Douglass? Frederick Douglass had to work. He helped influence Harriet Tubman. Frederick Douglass had to work some more. Frederick Douglass was a slave. He brought his freedom. He was a slave again. He bought his freedom. He was a slave a third time. Frederick Douglass had to buy his freedom 3 times from being a slave. And we don't know how to get $50 and $20 and thousands of dollars. And we're going to sit on our gift. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Because let me tell you something. When you start saving your items and you just put them in the closet and you don't let the world know that you got something for them that's going to heal their mental anguish and going to get you the money that you need, I'm trying to tell you, stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. Get your mental self together. Know that things are tough. Know that times are rough. Know that we have people in the White House that are lying to us. Okay? When people lie to you, you can't believe a lie when you see the truth. If somebody tell you they wrote you a check for $1,000 and then you got a check and it said $10 and they said no, it's $1,000, you can't believe that. You can believe what you make. And I don't want to be a politician. I just want you to be aware of your strength. I want you to be aware that you have control over your finances. And I don't want to sound like money is everything, but money is oxygen. Money can make you be able to pay for a prescription. It can make you be able to clean your house, buy some food, get a vacation. And everything that you ever imagined that you could have is in your fingertips. Everything, every single thing. So when you do it your way, you have setbacks. Now, I'm going to share a story with you. I'm going to share a story with you, and I'm going to share it to you out of confidence, and I'm not going to say the person's name, but I want to share it with you because I don't want you to make the same mistake. And she shared it with good confidence, and we got her to laughing after it was over, okay? So she tried to open up a store or online store herself. And what I told you is when you don't have the proper coaching, you can make a mistake, right? That you don't even think you're making. If you put too many things up too quickly, they automatically think that you are artificial intelligence. And so she did this and she shared it with me. And then she had someone to buy from her. Now, I don't suggest if you put something online to have a friend to buy it from you because the friend, you want to show that you're making sales. And it could have been or it could not have been, but it wasn't It was somebody she knew that bought it. You could tell them where to go and they could buy it, right? But actually, if you could tell them where to buy it, they could just send you the money instead of going through the online store. When you put your online store, you want the online store to be organic. But once she did the online store and she started getting sales, then they told her she needed $300 in the bank, and she's having a rough time. And sometimes $300 can feel like it's $30,000. I mean, sometimes you could just be like, $300 is just not. It's just not. It's just not enough. You know what I mean? It's too much, right? Okay, so when she got it all straight, they wanted $500. So they kept going back and forth, and then she was getting frustrated. So I just told her what's happening is that there is so many people that's probably looking at her product that she may look like AI even some more. Okay? So what I want you to know is that whatever you're doing, make sure if you're going to do it, get some counseling, because a lot of fraud is out there. And companies are not really allowing people to make money fast. So it has to be organic. But that doesn't mean you can't make money. That just means that this platform is just going to take a little bit more time for you to be able to get your golden goose, like tens of thousands of dollars, and that's your goal. And when you keep building your inventory up and you're getting your things up online, and then what's going to happen is once you get it online and the floodgates open, all that time you had building your inventory, all you got to do is box it up and ship it out. Box it up and ship it out. Okay, someone says all I do is when I get started, I can sew all night long. Okay, that's great. That's great that you can sew all night long. But when you really start getting your things out there, you don't have to you can sew all night long to get your inventory up, but you got to be marketing all night long to get the right person to come and buy it. Okay? Because if you're marketing properly, you're always marketing to someone who's desperately looking for what you can get, for what they can get from you. Okay. So we want to make sure that we're balancing it. We don't want to be sewing all the time and not marketing all the time. Because even when you put your things online, you might need to go back and you might type the word wrong. Or you might need to go back and say you got more sizes available. So it's like when you put stuff online, it's like when you buy from the grocery store and they push like when you buy these 2 cans of corn, then next thing you know, they got somebody going down that aisle and they pulling the corn back up. That's how your online store has to be. It has to be as if when you're ordering online and they see something or they ask you a question or they might want 50 cans of corn. And then you can say, I got 50 available, I got 20 available, or I got all 3 sizes available. So there's always work to do on the marketing side as much as the production side. Okay. Someone said, I'm the same, but when I sew, I get so excited that I'm an introvert becomes okay. It's okay. It's okay. Long as you're building your wealth and you building it so that, in other words, what I want you to know is that when you're making something, don't think that it's just the people that know you want that. There are going to be people, so many people that want what you have that never even seen you. They don't even care what you look like. They just want your item. And so I don't want you to feel like, okay, I'm making these things and it's for people that know at church, or people I know on my job, or people at my child's school, or friends of a friend. No. 98% of the people that I sell to, I've never met. And I sold a lot of things. I sell a lot of things. I did a lot of places. And that's probably not a place in the United States I haven't been, even on my motorcycle. So I can know what time of the climate is. But that was long, long time ago. Now you can just go and Google what's the weather like? What do they wear? What's going on? You can look at people's fashion shows from different cities and different states, and you can get an insight on what they're doing. And then you can look at other things, like look at your competition. Are you looking at your competition? Don't think you're the smartest person in the bunch, right? Well, they said, don't think you're the sharpest knife in the drawer. Look at your competition. See what they're wearing. See what they're looking at. See what they like. Look at their price points. And when you look at their price points, make sure it includes shipping. Because I just saw somebody today that made a nice hat, and they were in France. Okay. And the hat, it was a felt hat. It had mud cloth on it. It was a wide brim hat, and it was $50. And I was like, how in the world can you sell a hat like that for $50? They don't have the pricing right. Because when you sell it, whatever platform you're on, they get a percentage. They also get a marketing expense. And then when you ship it, you got to ship it. And if you ship it at the real price, usually when you ship, you want to absorb some of the shipping, and the customer should absorb some of the shipping. So if you ship something from US to Paris in the right size box, it's probably going to cost you $100. The item is $50. So you get that sale and you say, "Oh my God, it's $100 to ship it." And then if you don't pack it right, when you get the hat, you know how many items got to go on a truck before they take it to the next destination, and it's going to Paris. If you don't pack that hat really good and tight and have some stiff stuff around it, when they get that hat, it's gonna be like this. It's not gonna arrive the way it look on the picture. It's guaranteed. If you don't put fragile and put all a box inside of a box inside of a box, you'll get a bad review. You'll be done paid $100 to ship it, and by the time you get your pay out of it, you might get $7 or $8, because they're going to charge you international shipping. They're going to charge you finding the person, a percentage of finding the person. It just can be a lot of fees. So you have to make sure that when you price something, you have to price it no matter where it goes, whether it's going to Switzerland, Venezuela, the Dominican Republic, wherever you go. When you price your item, you don't want to lose on the packaging, the amount of packaging it takes, and you don't want to lose on the freight itself. Like when I make my reefs have to always be in a 30, what is it, 18 by 18 by 6. That's a really big box. So when I make my reefs, I can't sell a reef for under $100. If I sell a reef anywhere in the US, it's going to be $25 to $30 to ship it. So the reef have to start at $130 to $150 to sell a reef to cover the freight. So you want to make sure when you're making something and when you're selling something, make sure you're selling it at market value. And also, when you sell at market value, make sure you really inspect your item, that it looks really good. The top, the bottom, the inside, the outside. Sometimes you hang it a little bit, come back the next day, you still might see some threads with it. Take some tape, like rolling tape, any lint that could be on it. Make sure when you make it by hand that it looks like it has been fully inspected and it has quality on it. Put your tag and your label, and if you don't have a business card, write your name on your business name and your phone number and your text on inside of a thank you card. It takes time to get from each level to the next level. So if you're making something for someone and you don't have the business cards, then make sure you leave your information that they can buy again. Many of your sales will be repeat customers. Okay, this is Victoria said, I do wear my things. Like I wore the coat I made, it's reversible, but people don't like to pay. They think you're supposed to sell to give, you might say, because they think it's supposed to be $50. Okay. Now, how would I answer that? Okay, there's another question. I want to make sure I read both of her pieces. She says, as do I get started and I can sew all night. Okay, this is the same person. Okay, so this is Victoria. The Victoria, the only thing is not that people think it's $50. It's just you looking at the wrong people. Okay, it's it and when you wear it, when I say you looking at the wrong people, I mean take it with a grain of salt, but take it as truth. When you're wearing something and you're wearing it by somebody and they like it and you say that that reversible coat is $200. In fact, tell me how much you think the coat is worth. What would you sell the coat for while I'm explaining this to everybody? If you take a item and you like the item or you love the item, you're wearing it because you made it, right? And somebody think it should be $50. I mean, did they actually say I'll give you $50 to it? Or did they just say no, they can't pay for the price that you have it for? Okay. So this is how you do that. You said the coat is $200. So if you put the coat online, you put the coat for $250. So what happens is if you want to sell a coat for $200, you have to be able to package the coat, mail the coat, and you also have to be able to give a small discount if you want to make a sale. Okay, so say you make 5 coats, right? You got 5 coats, or you have that stock 5, or you have 5 different coats. So if you put the 5 coats up and you put the price on it, and then you got to really look at the coat and see if you would pay $200 for it. And if you look at the coat and say, oh, I made that, but I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make another one, then I'm gonna make it because I can make it for $25 because of the material. But really look at the coat and see if it's worth $200. And then what makes the coat worth $200? First of all, it's the quality of the fabric. Second of all, it's the workmanship of the fabric. Third of all, the buttons, the parts, the pieces that you put on the fabric, the coat. Are the buttons really nice buttons? Are the buttons quality buttons? Are the buttons have any type of sparkle to it? Okay. Then does it have pockets inside on both sides? Okay. Then does it have a reversible collar? And then is it flowing? Okay. When you can check off all those boxes, you know, the length of the coat, the quality of the coat, the workmanship of the coat. When you do all those items and then you put that online, you ain't gonna have no problem selling it. Because sometimes people, I'm gonna be frank, sometimes people in your immediate circle, they may not value handcraft items or they may not be able to afford it. But it doesn't mean it's not worth it. So what has to happen is you have to become into a bigger audience and you have to be trained on how to photograph it. You gotta have to be trained on how to write the words. You gotta be trained on how to put a live mannequin on it. And then when you do, you show your hands on it and you'll show the quality of it. Show the sewing machine, sew it on the sewing machine. When people can see that it's handcrafted and it's not anything dealing with AI, then they'll say, okay. Because you can sell a coat with a lot of holes in it for $200. You know, they buying jeans with holes in it. They buying jackets with holes in it. They buying jackets with the sleeves cut off. So sometimes it's not even the quality, it's the attitude and the atmosphere of what's going around them. They say, I'll buy. They're buying jeans cut up for $200. So why not a coat? So don't get discouraged because you wore it and they're not there. Just get encouraged that when you go online, you're gonna say, "Ooh, I gotta go home. I gotta make up 5 coats." See how we turn that around? So it's when I say we trying to stay in a small pot, get out that pot. You know, when you open your car door, you got all the atmosphere around you. So get out that pot. Don't let that be your don't let that discourage you. Because God got so much more for you. You just keep making them coats and get some coaching. We'll get those coats sold. And then we'll get the pants to go with it. We'll get the jacket to go with it. We'll get the hat to go with it. We'll get a scarf to go with it. You can turn that $200 coat into a $500 sale. Okay, this is Constance, and she's saying, yes, I'm with Victoria on that. They see us in our items and they want us to give it to them for $50. Okay. Okay, this is Victoria again. She says, people, yeah, you're right about people around you are not wanting to pay. Okay. And when I say people around you not wanting to pay, sometimes they don't have the means to pay. Sometimes people look like they got it going on and they don't have it going on. All right. I mean, have you ever heard somebody say, oh, she got some nice things, she makes some nice things, but I'm not gonna pay for her car. I'm not going to pay for her new house. That's a sense of jealousy. So if you're selling something and you might have a nice car, you might have a nice home, and people know you personally, and they'll say, "Oh, I'm not going to pay her bills." It's a sense of jealousy, right? But if it was a stranger, they would buy it, right? So I got two millionaires that work next to me. They got cars so old you would never know they millionaires. And they white guys, but they don't drive their nice stuff to the mall. They come with their old car. They come with their beat up jeans on, and they get in there and they work like crazy. So some people tell too much of their business to somebody right to them, and they're not gonna patronize them. It's a mindset. People feel like I'm not gonna support you, but I mean, when I was working in my first store, people would say, "Did you see what they drove?" And I would be so busy working with my client, I wasn't looking out the window to see what they drove. I said, "No, I didn't see what they drove." They said, "Oh, they was in a Cadillac." I said, "Oh, really? Oh, that's nice. Oh man, you should have sold them something else." But that's not it. Everybody should be treated equal, whether they're a person off the bus or they're a doctor. They should be treated equal. The price should be equal, right? Then I would have someone to say, "Did you see all that stuff she bought?" And I was like, "Yeah, I sold it to her." They said, "Girl, she was down there getting on the bus." And I was like, "Okay, that lady had too much money to be riding the bus. That lady might then want to pay car insurance and car repairs and rode the bus to save money and not have to work so hard." You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is different situations have different things. And if somebody don't have it today, that don't mean they won't have it tomorrow. So take all the compliments. If somebody say, "I like it," but they can't afford it, they don't buy it, don't take it negative. Just enjoy the fact that they like it. Enjoy the fact they like it. Get better with the craft, get faster with the craft, and let's get your items out there where you can't keep up. Because if you got a nice item, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, you won't be able to keep up. If you just get it out there and you start working and you getting it together, what will happen is you will have to say, like, instead of you saying, "I can do this in 3 days," you'll say, "I can do this in 7 days, or I can do this in 10 days, or I can do this in 2 weeks or a month." Okay. So that's the goal. The goal is not to have everybody around you to like you, because in the Bible, it says a prophet is not valued in his own country. Listen to that. A prophet is not valued in its own country. That means that your value is going to be much more to people that's not in your vicinity. That's all the people that's outside looking for what you have. But if you want the people right there to value you, and if it didn't value back in the olden times, how you think it's going to value you now? So we have to reprogram ourselves to saying this is for whoever can afford it. Not whoever like me, not whoever is nice to me. When I wore overalls to my grandma's house, I made some overalls. I was so happy. And my grandma said, "Where you going?" I said, "Grandma, I'm gonna be selling these overalls. Look at these." She said, "Baby, nobody down here like that. That look like work. We don't want no overalls." So what I'm saying is that where I was trying to sell it to, it wasn't for that era. When I came back into the city, everybody thought it was cool because they went on a farm. When I went back on the farm, I was like fashion. "Oh, let me get by the tree. Oh, grandma, look at me." Grandma said, "Baby, that ain't gonna work here. They over. I don't care how you look at it, they was overalls, right? But when you come back to the city, they look like, like a romper. Like we're gonna have fun. We're gonna go and get on the swing and the merry-go-round, right?" So what I'm saying is that don't think negative of the person. Don't think negative of the mindset. Because be honest with you, if you had an item for $50, they still probably wouldn't even buy that either. If you had something for $30, they still wouldn't buy that either. So when you keep making your gift and you invest in yourself, that means in your education, that means in getting with somebody to get it out there, you will not be able to keep up. I'm promising you that. From the bottom of my heart, you stick with it, it's gonna get you your reward. You will, he said, you reap what you sow, right? So if you reaping and you reaping and you reaping and you reaping and you ain't sold nothing, how long you think that's gonna last? It ain't gonna last. You reaping from somebody else's stuff. But you gotta reap what you sow. So when you sow, you're gonna reap. You just keep sowing it and perfect everything you do. But don't over perfect it because it's still handmade. Listen to me again. Don't over perfect it. It is what it is. You're not a machine. You're not somebody that cut 50 items at one time and all 50 of them going to be perfect. No, you're not a machine. You can make it smaller. You can make it bigger. You can custom make something to a certain size and then you're going to be all right. But you on the right channel. You're on the right channel. Keep making your merchandise. If you sew all night, for those who sew all night, get a system. Don't just be sewing to be sewing. Okay, you're going to do hats. Okay, you're going to do scarves. Okay, you're going to do earrings. Okay, you're going to do blankets. Okay, you're going to do table runners. Okay, you're going to do pillows. If you're sewing and you got to sew all night, if you can sew all night and you love to sew all night, then sew categories. Because when you get online, you can't just have, well, you can. Okay, say like, let's go to a hardware store. Say like you just sell hammers. All right. You just like making hammers. You just like making hammers. You just like making hammers. Okay. Somebody need a good hammer. Somebody need a little hammer. But then when you see the hammer, then what they want? They want some nails. Then when you get the nails, what do they want? They want some screws. Then you get some screws, what they want? They want some cement screws. They want some sheetrock screws. They want some push pins. So what I'm saying is for those who sew all night, sew in categories because your store has to be like a store. Your store can't be with one item. If you sell cakes, you got to sell cupcakes. You got to sell pies. You got to sell drinks. You got to sell cookies. You got to your store cannot have one item in it to be successful. Tell me any store that is successful that just sell one item. Okay, let's go to the cleaners. You at the cleaners. You only want to wash jeans. How much business you think you're gonna make? Okay, you at the cleaners. You only clean suits. How much business you gonna make? Okay, you at the cleaners. You can sell suits. You can wash clothes. You can do draperies. You can do quilts. You can do spreads. You can do blankets. You can do work clothes. You can do uniforms. You can do sheriff office. You can do school drivers, school bus drivers. So what I'm saying is when you want to make money and you can sew all night, then you are the ones that can really, really have a full store because you have, first of all, you got the time, you got the serenity, and you got the space that you can make piles to build up your inventory. So you're going to have a full store. So when you have a full store, guess what happens? People stay in your store longer. They shop longer because they say, oh, she do shoes too. Let me see what kind of shoes she make. Oh, she do paintings. Let me see what kind of art she got. Oh, she make table runners. Let me see what color she got in stock. So when you can sew all night and you can build more inventory, you got a bigger store. The bigger your store, the more money you make. And now that you got all these items in your store, you need to get the coaching to know how to get it to the people that want all your items. And when they start wanting your items, we build your credit because when you got a store, people give you money. They give you money because they want to buy the item, and the creditors give you money because they want you to use their credit card to fill your store with the things that you already have in it to restock it. So once you build your store, money is not an issue because the credit card companies want to give you money and the clients want to give you money. And then you can shop for credit. You can say, do I want this credit card or do I want that credit card? Do you want the one that give you cash back? Do you want the ones that will have you at a higher line of credit with a low interest rate? Okay, so you'll be able to shop for money. You'll be able to shop for money to grow your business, and that's why small businesses is the reason the world is. I mean, small businesses help the world go around. Take some more questions. Okay, it says, I like this. No, they're cheap. She said, no, they're cheap. These are people I know, they think because you're a friend, they can get it for basically free. Okay, Victoria. She said, I have, okay, you're, okay, let me go back a little bit. Okay, okay, people are not wanting to pay. I have heard that. This is Sweet Pearl Creations. No, they're cheap. These are the people I know. They think because you're a friend, they can get it for basically free. Okay. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this to Victoria and everybody that reads her words, because you'll have times in your life that, and don't take this personally or offensively, you'll have times in your life that you want certain people to like what you're doing, and you'll feel disappointed that they don't, because there's two things. If they like what you're doing, they will purchase from you, right? I've been out here in this mall for 15 years, and people will occasionally come by that hadn't been by in 3 years. So that means they've been by my place 5 times in 15 years. And every time they come, they say, "Oh, you still here? Oh, child, that's too much. Oh, girl." I said, "Okay, thank you." I said, "Do you like it?" "Yes, I do, but it's just too much." I said, "Okay." I said, "No problem. I appreciate you liking it." Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you go, if you got cheap friends, you need to change your friends if you want them to buy something. But if that cheap friend is really a friend, then you know they can't afford it. It's not that they cheap; they may just can't afford it, or they may have something else going on that takes their money. Okay, because you are the people that you keep. If you got friends and they have a low uh, financial situation, and I'm not saying everybody you like should have plenty of money, but today things are really, really, really strange. Food, gas, lights, property taxes, building materials, all of this stuff is very, very expensive. And before you know it, if you don't know how to manage your money, you will be crying because you'll say, "Where did the money go?" But on the other hand, if you just flip it, in the Bible, they was trying to find some fish, right? That's why I keep showing y'all these fishing pictures. They trying to catch some fish and they couldn't catch no fish. He said, "Throw the cast on the other side of the boat, baby." I'm telling y'all, you got cheap friends because you're throwing the cast on the wrong side of the boat. Throw the cast on the other side of the boat. You'll have so many fish, it will break the net. You see what I'm saying? You're in the same boat. You're in the same spot. You're just fishing on the wrong side of the boat. Instead of talking to them, talk to the person that owns the building. Talk to the person that owns it, that's writing the payroll checks. If you know that person is broke or you know that person is cheap, just encourage them. Life gonna be better. And you cast your net to the other side of the boat, and that's where your blessing is gonna be. And thank God that they cheap. Because you don't want to write it and give you a bad check. You don't want to write them and say, "I'll pay you later." They can't pay for it. So they just tell you, "I can't afford it." And there's nothing, when you can't afford something, that don't mean you cheap. That just means you can't afford it. If somebody say that's $200, they can't imagine. They can't. There's a lady that came into the store, and she had said some really, really bad things about me one time. And I had to accept it. And I had to forgive her. And she came back about 5 years later and asked me for forgiveness. And then she started buying from me like crazy. And she said, "I had no idea that one person can do all of this." She said, "I had never met anybody that even had a vision like you have a vision." So what I'm saying to those who are saying that the people are cheap is because they can't and you can't see your vision, because you're trying to sell it to somebody that don't have no money. You got to sell it to people like this and like this. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to still put all this godly beauty that you have into this little person that can't imagine. They can't imagine. I got another story for you. I got a cousin that like to sell scrap metal. And I'm like, you know how much money you get for scrap metal? You get like a big old truck, you get like $30 for stuff out falling all off your truck, right? He's the best mechanic. He is the best mechanic, but he can't see it. He got scales on his eyes. He cannot see how good he can fix cars and trucks and bikes and houses. He just feel like I just got to drive around and I got to get what people throw on the side of the road, and I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna go to the scrap yard and I'm gonna get $25. So he wear down his vehicle, he take it to the scrap yard, he smell, and he get $25, and he feel good because it's free, because he didn't buy for the scrap, and he took some junk to somebody and they got to strip it down, and then he get $25. But he can't see. He can't. He. I'll tell him every way, and he can't see. He programmed that. I'm gonna get something for free, and I'm gonna get some money for it. So you go to the thrift store. The thrift store is more than a regular store now, right? The dollar store got stuff in the cost 7, 8, 9, 10, and $25. Used to be $1. Everything had to be $1. So you got to raise your price. So when you charge $200 for your item, I want you to raise it to $225. Change the price tag to $225. Somebody really like it, say, you know what? It's $225, but if I don't have to ship it to you and you have cash, I will let you have it for $200. So if it's worth $200, you raise the price. Because it could be worth $300. Could be worth $400. If you say it's $200, it could be worth more than that. Okay, this is Sweet Creations. That's why my car manufacturers make makes cars, because they cater to low budget, middle budget, and high end budget. You exactly right. Car manufacturers want to make money, and I'll tell anybody, if you're going to buy a car, buy a used lease car, because it looks brand new. It's 10 years and you got only 50,000 miles on it, and you can pay for it cash. If you work hard, you can pay for it cash. You ain't got no note, and you got basically a brand new car, because they got to schedule it every 3,000 miles. They got to get it serviced. So I definitely believe in buying for a car. I don't believe in having a note when you got to have a business. I mean, you might have one for a little while, but get rid of that note as soon as you can. Yes, you have to ask God to remove the scales from your eyes. And the way he moved the scales from your eyes is you put your fair price on your item. You give a deal if they make multiple items. You buy your fabric at the best price that you can get, but don't let the price defer the quality, because you can take the quality and make plenty of money even with a small amount of that fabric. So you want to make sure you get quality first, give the best product you can, make sure you inspect it well, and charge a fair price. Because if you charge a fair price, first of all, they're going to pay you right away. And if they have a good week, they're going to pay you and they're going to tip you. Okay, any other questions? It said, I would anything I want to make the price. I save. Look like I lost that question. Okay. Okay. We need cheap people though. Cheap people just keep our blood flowing. Okay, this is Kim Kim. Kim just came on. Items on my website range from $65 to $200. Sold I haven't sold rate $200 item yet. Should you ever go down on your prices ever? Okay, this is Kim asking, should you ever go down on your price? Okay, first of all, Kim, I would suggest that you said your website range at $65. I'm gonna tell you how you make a lot of money if you already have a website. If you already have a website, and how long, if you could, while I'm talking, if you could tell me how long you had your website. If you have your website and you have some items for under $50, you're going to make more sales. If you have some items under $30, you're going to make more sales. And if you have some items that are $20, you're going to make some more sales. Okay, so Kim, you only been on it 2 months, so you are fresh, you brand new, girlfriend. You made a sale already. You good. Okay, typically when you get, this is Kim, she has her items for $65 to $200. I would highly recommend you get some coaching so you can make that. Listen, if you make $100 a day and it's 365 days, 362 days in a year, you could possibly make $300,000 if you took off the holidays and the weekends. Okay, that's not hard to do. It's not hard to do. I know you said, "Oh, Evelyn, what you saying, girlfriend? Am I leaving all that money on the table?" I'm saying, yes, you are, because you're doing it your way. You're doing it your way, so you leaving all that money on the table, baby. All right. So I'm gonna talk to Kim because Kim says Kim says she has 2 months on the platform. Kim, I would highly recommend you put something on there for $20. I would need to look at what you're doing and see how you're listening it, see what your photos are like, and see if you got versatility, and seeing if it's also for one gender or two genders. Are you just looking at one spectrum of the universe? But if you get some $20 items, $35 items, and $50 items, those are what you call impulse buys. If you look at something and it say $7.99, now I'm talking, when I say $7.99, if you sell something for $7.99, you have to sell it where they have to spend at least $25 to $30. So if you say $7.99, say packs of 3, and then they'll know that they got to spend $25. I don't recommend anyone sending anything for under $25, because when you do tax and everything, it adds it's just a lot. It's a lot to get a little bit of money, and you got to sell multiple thousands of dollars to see that you got a really good profit. So your threshold is 20 to 25, 30 to 35, 40 to 45, 50 to 55, and 60 to 65. If you're new, because it can be an impulse buy. And what can you sell like that? It can be earrings, set of 3 earrings. It could be pet bandanas. It could be handkerchiefs. It could be scarves. It could be something. Make sure it's something for men and women. It could be something for a baby. Okay, anything could be small. It could be something that you can sell baby clothes and don't even have kids. You can sell. I mean, I'm gonna tell you about baby clothes. Grandparents gonna buy those baby clothes. Those baby clothes gonna be bought before the baby is even here. Disney made a killing off of kids. So don't rule out baby clothes, and then baby bonnets and baby different things, okay? But the cheaper your item is, and this is the only time I'm gonna say cheap. The cheaper it is, the less expensive it is, and it's quality and it's handmade, meaning your hands are on it. You will get more sales and more of them, and you got to have volume. When you start getting to 55, 65, 75, $200, you have to really show the quality. And then when you have that you are a new buyer, because most of the platforms show that you new, people don't trust you to spend $200 with you right away. They just don't. I mean, it's just, hey, do I know this person? They only been on a platform 2 months. I don't know that. Then they got somebody next to you said they've been on it for 10 years. Even if they got a four star, you can read the ratings, because everybody's not gonna like what you do. But if they got a 4 star and they've been on it for 10 years, they just rate the last few stars. Okay. You can have 10 5 stars and 1 1 star, and that 1 1 star will bring you down to like a 4.6. So a 1 star really can hurt your platform, but it doesn't stop people from shopping. Okay, look at the stars to your post office. Your post office might have a 2 star, but it don't stop you from going there. Your Walmart might have a 2 star, but you don't stop going there. So it doesn't mean that you won't get any sales because you don't have a 5-star. What it is how long you've been on the platform, what people are saying about you, and how the product looks. And then once you get people to buy, they're going to say, this just sold this day, this just sold last week, this is a preferred item. So once you get to that point, then people are going to embrace you and they're going to buy from you and they're going to be repeat buyers. So you want to just keep at it, strongly get some coaching, and then let's get this money. Let's get this money. You know, you can pick up money like you picking up your clothes off the floor. That's how money will come to you. Okay, you said Constance said, I have a website. The only thing I am embarrassed to say this, I have not sold anything because my items sell before I've able to post them on the site. Okay. Your items sell before you post things on your site. So look, if you're selling your items, before they go on the site, and I've seen some of your items. The only thing I think about your items is that your items are one of, like the belts that you were showing me, your items, you need to be able to make duplicates. And the reason being is because when you put stuff online, they want it to be what they see. If it comes up different, then they're going to say, that's not what I saw. So what I would suggest to you is the things that you're going to sell to your general public is not the things that you sell on your site. Because the things that you sell on your site is going to make you more money than the things that you sell in the public. Does that sound right? Okay, this is what I'm saying. Okay, you say you sold 3 dresses or 4 dresses the other day. I'm going back through memory now. You sold 4 dresses to a few clients or to one client. And if you sold those dresses, if you would have took pictures of those dresses and if you would have took pictures of those dresses and put them on your site, not all at one time, and you had the means to make those items again, what would happen is, say you sold, see this pink dress on this side of me. If I put this on my site, I got 3 pink dresses like this. I got them in pink, purple, red, and turquoise. Okay. If I put this dress on my site and I sold the dress and I have the means to make the dress again, and if I put on my site that I can make 10 of these dresses, okay, when you sell it to that person, you only sold 1. But when you go and you know how to work your website and you know how to go behind the scenes, you'll see that 50 people might have it in their cart. And you only have 10 that you can make. And then every time you sell one on your site, it goes down. But then when you sell it on your site, you can say, I have 10 days to make it, or I have 5 days to make it. Now, if you have 10 people with it in their cart and those 10 people bought it and the dress was $100, that's $1,000. Whereas you sell it to the person that you know, you might have sold a dress to them for $70. Because usually when you sell a dress in person, you'll negotiate the price. Now, that doesn't mean you have to. It's just if somebody bought 3 dresses or 4 dresses from you, you probably would give them a sale or a discount. But when it's online, it's going to sell for what you have it. And then people going to know it's 50 people want this dress and she only got 10. I get my check on Friday. I'm finna buy that dress. As soon as that dress sell, it'll say, okay, short inventory, only 9 left. Oh man, I get paid in 2 weeks. I'm gonna get that dress. And they're gonna keep on buying it. So what I'm saying is that don't be embarrassed because you sold your item. I just want you to think bigger. Okay, because you got a big project that you're working on, and that could be paid off. Or you could, even if you had the money, you could be replenishing that money. So it's a good thing that you sold it, but wouldn't it be better if you had a picture of it and it's sitting out there and people are looking at it and looking at it and looking at it, and then they know that they can get that dress in 2 weeks. And when they sell it, when the company sells it to them, you got 2 weeks to make it. And so when you got 2 weeks to make it, what's going to happen is you're going to get faster and faster and more creative. And you're going to make 6 dresses. You're going to make 10 dresses. You got 10 colors. So now instead of you getting $10,000, you're getting $30,000. Now instead of $30,000, you're getting $50,000. Now you run into the post office because you got to make 2 drops. He's not just picking up from you. You're going in the middle of the afternoon, then you're going to the late post office in that afternoon. Now people are saying, can I have it overnight? Can I give you $50 extra to ship it to me overnight? And the dress only $100, but they'll pay you $150 if you can get it overnight. So what I'm saying is, even if you're selling stuff in person, don't forget the World Wide Web. Because when you sell a car, when a person sell a car, they're not selling it to one dealership. They're selling it to all dealerships. So you looking at yourself as I'm just one dealership and I'm only going to make one car or 4 cars to go on my lot. But if I make that car and every dealer got access to the car I'm making, then you're going to have every car say, I'll take 50, I'll take 100, I'll take 200. And you never know who's watching you. There might be a manufacturing company watching you that wants you to design something for them. And you might say, yeah, I designed it for you for 10,000 because they're gonna make tens of thousands of dollars. So don't keep it in a cup. Keep all your windows open to be able to receive a blessing. Because those people that's wearing those dresses, now nobody can see them but the people that they know. When you put it on the internet, the world can see it. Do you want the world to see it? And then when the world see it, guess what? You can hire somebody to sew dresses for you. You don't have to make every dress yourself. Or you could buy some dresses already made and embellish them the way you like it. And it don't take you that long to get the dress to look like what you want to do. So we don't have to recreate the wheel for every single thing. We can think of things that's already done, that's already just need a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. You ever seen somebody who paints with light covers? The little light when you turn your lights on. You ever seen anybody make those? I mean, I got some in my house. I got pastor greens or pastor collard greens. I got Martin Luther King at my front door. I have a dream. When I see people who take the simplest thing, something that costs 35 cents, used to cost 35 cents, and they make a painting on it. So am I going to try to make the plate cover? No. Are they going to try to make the plate cover? No. They're going to take the plate cover. They know everybody got something, a switch in their house, and they paint it and they sell it. So there are ways that you can make a lot of money, but you got to get it where more people can see you. And when you have a nice website, then guess what they're going to do? They're going to share it with the next person. And your person, instead of you having 20,000 people looking at it, now you got 40,000. Now you got 50,000. And now you got, and so somebody got to get used to your pricing. And when they see your pricing, then they're going to say, oh, I've been watching this and she don't have a sale. Or somebody say, I've been watching you. When is your next sale? I'll say, okay, my next sale is going to be on Friday because I like to have my sales on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So someone says, should you ever have a sale? I say, yes, you should have a sale. But you're being on the website for only 2 months. I think it's too early for you to have a sale. I think depending on how many items you have, if you have less than 100 items on your site, I say it's too early to have a sale because you need to build up to an item a day or item every other day till you get 100 items on your site. 100 items mean you got 100 items in your store. So the more items you have in your store, then you can have a sale because you can say, okay, I'm ready to liquidate some things. I'm ready to have a sale. And then you can start out with 10% or 15%, or you can start out with just free shipping. And those are items that people will, when somebody see free shipping, hey, they with you all the way. They free shipping, oh, I'll take it. I don't care if it's a little bit more, it's got free shipping. Okay. So you said, should I shut my website down? Absolutely not. Don't shut your website down because you're not working it. Which I would suggest is to make items that you have or items that you've already made and took pictures of and put on your site. And then when you put it on your site, but you need to have at least 10 photos of your item. So if it's something that you've already made, and if it's something that you can remake, I'm talking to Constance right now, everybody. If it's something that you have already made and it's something that you can remake, I would say make it and put it on the site. Never close a door that's already open. First of all, it's hard to do a site. Second of all, it's hard to get traction. And third of all, that's what they expect. If you've been on a site for a short period of time or your site doesn't have anything on it, then the reason that you don't make a sale on your site is, for one, you don't put anything on it, or for two, you don't continue to put things on it. If you go into a store and the store only had a pair of jeans or a rack of jeans, and then you went back to the store and it only still had that rack of jeans, people come back to your store because they see you got more items in your store. Just think of the way you shop. And if you got jeans, you got hats, you got scarves, you got jewelry, you got tote bags, you got necklaces, then people gonna start shopping with you. People like to buy when they see that you done put some time in it. You done made it feel good. Then they want to say, that's my store. Then they're gonna say, that's my favorite store. They're gonna go from that's my store to that's my favorite store. And that's where you're gonna make some money at. He said, my problem is the fabric. I never can get the same print again. I could do the same style, but not the same print. Then you need to talk to Evelyn and buy some fabric from Evelyn. Because I'm going to tell you, if we get a lot of people want a certain type of fabric, I can have the fabric built. I have a fabric store, and I usually stock 100 yards of each item that I buy. So I usually stock heavy. I stock so I can make things. I stock so I can sell things. I stock so I can sell the fabric. So it's hard. Fabric companies are having a hard time right now, and they're just it's hard to sell, especially if people only buy 1 yard, 2 yards. Now if you see fabric companies, they want you to buy 6 yards. Even in Africa, when you buy anything, you have to buy 6 yards, because when they make the just imagine a semi truck driving from the coast, which is the harbor, say it's in New York, and they only had 1 yard of fabric. Just imagine that. You know how big a 53-foot truck is? They got to fill up that big old container with all that fabric. And it cost them $10,000 just to get it off the dock. That's not the value of what's in the dock. So the tariffs is even more now. So they have to have the fabric. When they get more fabric, they got to have enough demand for it. So where there's no supply, there's no demand. Where there's no demand, I'm sorry. When there's no demand, there's no supply. There's no supply. So you have to sell a few things. Listen to me. Make those sales that you're making to your clients that's right there. You take that money and you buy volume. I know people like to buy thrift items. I know you like to buy items that are, very cheap. But to make money, you got to spend some money. And when you open that store and you get the lines of credit and you find the companies you want to buy from, you won't be buying $10 and $20 worth of stuff. You'll be buying $1,000 worth of stuff. And that'll carry you for 6 months to a year, because you got enough inventory to make your items. Because once you start making, like the person said they like to sew all night, if you see all your fabric like this, and you got your board up there, everything you want to like that you want to make, you're gonna start sewing and getting your stuff up, and then you're gonna spend a day just marketing, and you're gonna spend a day just sewing. You're gonna spend a day just photographing. So don't take your website down. Just learn how to work your website. And then I know if you're saying money, people are saying, I just don't have the money. You got the money. You just not, let me say it the right way. You have the money. It's just when you make the money, you putting it somewhere else, like a bill, right? So if you got a gift and you sold 3 dresses and you made some money, did you put the money back into the business? Or did you put the money on a bill? Okay, I'm not saying when you make some money, you don't put money on a bill. But if you take that money and use that money like it was your job and you put it on a bill, then that's what you put it on, right? But then you got to make something extra. So when you make that money, you got to reinvest the money. You have to reinvest the money. If you don't reinvest the money, you know how they say a drug dealer uses his own drugs, and that's when he get arrested. Because he's selling the drug, but then he's using his own drug because he's not reinvesting the money. So you got a bad drug dealer. So look, I'm using this phrase as a drug dealer because when you have a really good product and people get used to you giving them great service and a great product, it's like a drug to them. It's like, she just gave me a drug. What she gonna have next? Like they saying, Evelyn, when you gonna do the white? When you gonna do some white? I want white. I want white. I want white. I want this. I want purple. I want this. Okay, I got white coming. Okay, I got black coming. So you become that drug. But if I took all the money and went on a vacation, or if I took the money and I didn't put no money into me to learn how to talk to you better, learn how to learn how to nudge you to your wealth, if I have to study how to talk to you because I want you all to succeed, right? So if you take all the money and you pay a bill, then you ain't got nothing to invest. And then you say, I don't have the money. I don't have $50. I don't have $20. How you don't have $20 when this is America? This is America. Do you know why many people come to America? They come to America because Americans can make as much money as they want. In America, you don't get paid by the month, by the week, by the day. You get paid by that if you have a job, but if you become an entrepreneur, you get paid by the job. If the job in the day, you get paid the day. If you ask for the money early, you get paid for it early, and then you can do the job. So that's entrepreneurship. That's capitalism. That's why United States needed so many immigrants, because they needed people to come and work for all these self-employed people. And now we don't want them no more. That's crazy. So you have to realize that you are a business. And if you are a business, you have to have capital. And before you get capital, you got to get it from yourself. Because once you get it from yourself, you're going to have all kind of credit. It wouldn't be nothing for y'all to have $50,000 worth of credit. It wouldn't be nothing to get $50,000 worth of credit if you started reinvesting your own money, because cars gonna come. You're gonna get cars you didn't even ask for. Just say you accept it. Here's 10,000. Just say you accept it. But the reason they give you the money because you're a business is because they know in order for you to stay in business, you have to have capital. And if you take all your money and pay a bill, you don't have any capital to grow your money, to grow your business. Therefore, you don't have any inventory to put on your site. You see how it works? If you got the money, you buy the inventory, which is the raw goods, you produce the raw goods, you got the capital. Now you can put it on your site. Now you got time to pay bills out of the money that comes in, instead of just taking your personal money to buy the garment or buy the goods to make the garment. And then when you make them sales, you got to pay yourself back. And you didn't charge enough to have more money to reinvest. You just charged what it was worth. You didn't do an upcharge. So if you just charge what it's worth and you borrowed the money from yourself and you got to pay yourself back, it just keeps rotating like that. But if you get set up and we get the right cars that you need, or we get the right extensions that you need, and you can get more material, and then you will pre-sell those items, because guess what? When you sell online, your items are already pre-sold, which means that once you sell it online and you start getting with the right platform and you become trustworthy, they will pay you before you even ship the garment. So you won't be like, oh my God, I can't get this done. Because see, the platform knows if you sell, say if you sell, let's say something low. Say if you sell $500 a day. I'm saying this as a low item. If you really get the coaching, right? You sell $500 a day, and it's 3 or 4 days, 500, 300, 200, 500, 700, you know. In that week, you probably done made $3,000, and you got to make all these things, and you got a week to make it. Well, they know if you got your money in 2 days or 3 days, then you got everything. You got the time, you got everything ready that you can make these items. So they're going to keep feeding customers to you. But if you got all these sales to make, all these orders to make, and they don't send you your money, then people won't keep shopping on those platforms, because they'll say, I never got my items. I paid for it, but I didn't get it. But if you can get those items done and exceed their expectations, meaning that you got the items to them before they needed it, or before they need by date or expected date, They're going to give you as many customers as you can handle. They're going to give you so many customers, you're going to be like, oh my goodness. So when you get too many sales that you can't handle, or life happens and you got to do a funeral, you got to travel for something, then what you do is you just change your delivery time. So instead of you saying they get it in a week, instead of saying I'm going to close my store down till I catch up, you never want to close your store down, because if you close your store down, they'll never come back. I'm just being honest with you. So you take your store to 2 weeks, or you take your store to 3 weeks, and then they'll say, oh, well, I need it before then, but then they'll come back later, and then you just change your schedule to shorten your delivery time, and that's when the people will still come back. They just don't like, or they'll send you a letter or send you an email and say, can you deliver this sooner than that? And you may be catching up with your orders. So that's why I'm saying it's so many details to surviving online. But once you get on there, you will be more, I say, you'll have more than enough. Just trust me on that one. Okay, it says, I have wrap skirts, and wrap skirts are back. I have wrap skirts that I need to sell. I need help with setting up my Etsy store. Okay, this is Mildred Desserts. Okay, Miss Mildred, you're gonna be calling me, and this is 407-590-8767. Okay, and then we will work with you with coaching, and we will get those wrap skirts, wrap dresses, all those things sell. Don't just think of wrap skirts. Do wrap dresses. Okay, wrap tops, wrap skirts, wrap tops, wrap dresses. And I'm gonna tell you what's good about wrap dresses, skirts, and tops. Those can fit multiple sizes. So it can fit from a 0 to a 24, depending on how much fabric you have in it. So you can wrap those dresses and skirts, and they are good sellers, and they are year-round sellers, and they're great for cruises too. Okay. Okay, this is Constance. Say, okay, I just opened up my window. Thank you, Constance. You have great items. You have a really creative eye. You just have to get the finances together to get the coaching so you can soar, because you are a true artist and you're sitting on a pot of gold, girlfriend. Okay, this is Victoria. So how much does a website cost to make and run? Okay. Okay, first of all, you can if you're just starting out and you want to, this is what it's like. If you get some coaching, we'll get you the best site. Now, coaching is $1,200. It's $1,200, which is only $100 a month. But you have to pay it in 2 payments, or you have to pay it in 1 payment. Okay, that's what it costs to really get some coaching. And you need, and the reason that it's $1,200, you need to be in it for a year, because I don't want you to be, I'm gonna use you right now, Constance. I don't want you to be like Constance and have a sale outside and you're not using your website. Okay, that's like, what's the best way to say that? Okay, you ever been through a drive-through and people were selling in the front, and then you had the people that was in the drive-through? Well, when you sell in the front, that's like the people who just walked up to you and bought it, right? And the people in the drive-through are the people willing to wait, because now most of all your fast foods cooked to order, because they were getting so many complaints that their food was cold. So the people on your website are the people in your drive-through that's willing to wait. But when you are in need of money, you want to sell it to the people that's walking just in the front of the store. But you're not looking at everything that's in the freezer. All them meat patties in the freezer, all them buns on the rack, all them fries in the freezer, all that ice cream we got to make with them flips and shakes and all that. So you need the money from the front of the door to the back of the door, to the Uber driver, to the Uber Eats, to the DoorDash. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, if you think that you're going to survive in just selling to the front of the store, you're not going to be in business long, because every company has 5 minimum ways to get an income: the front of the door, the back of the door, all the eateries, all the delivery companies coming in. You thinking they in there to buy something, and no, they coming in to take somebody the hamburger down the street. So if you're going to be a survivor, you got to have the same thing working for you. You got to have anybody see you. Anybody see you. They want what you got. When they see you, when they call your name, they're going to be thinking, I need to get this woman some money. She got what I need. I need to get this guy some money. He can make that prom dress for my daughter. I need to get this guy some money because he can make dashikis. He can make leather bags. He can make leather coats. Okay? So don't think one way. So when you get your site, depending on what you sell, depending on how much you're going to do, we can get you some free sites and we get you some calculated sites. So you don't want just one site. You want to have sites where you got to pay to be seen to everybody, and you got to have sites where you send people directly to that site. Like if somebody say, I want this dress, can I go buy it online? So you can send them directly to a site that you know about. But you have to get on sites that everybody, when they Google what they're looking for, the Google gonna find out what site to send them to. They're going to find out what's the best site to send them to that's getting the best ratings. So when you have a site, you don't want one site. You want multiple sites, but you want sites that you can have people to go directly to you, or you can have sites where they're looking for your customer. And those customers don't even know you. You're going to be shipping all. There's nobody on this page tonight that will not be shipping all over the world. Nobody. Because everybody is trying to find that side hustle, that honest side hustle that will repeat business. And you got it. Everybody watching me tonight, you got it. You got it. You got it. It's like putting gas in the car. You don't think it's going to go nowhere. But if you sit in the car and you got all this merchandise in the car and you don't put no gas in the car, what's going to happen? You're going to be out there in the snow with all your goods, and now they can't get to you because the snow coming all up. It's getting dark. The snow plow can't even see your car, So you have to set yourself up for success. You got to think ahead of your mindset. When I say ahead of your mindset, that means where you are right now. See your name in lights. See your name in lights. See your own store. I don't care if it's a closet right now. Because if you got a closet, you got the top of the closet, the middle of the closet, and the bottom of the closet. And then you got different levels you can put in that closet. And if you got to take that door and turn it around, put some wallpaper on it, or paint that door white, shoot your pictures, get it together. But still, even with all that, you know what'll happen? If you get in a car, you ain't never took no driver's eds, and you get in a car, you ain't never know how to parallel park, or if you get in a car and you don't even know how to back up, you don't even know how to drive the car, you bought a car, you ain't know how to back it up. If they don't tell you how to back it up, they don't give you the manual, you're in the same situation. You might go forward, but do you know how to stop? Do you know how to turn? Do you know how to back up? Do you know how to parallel? So that's what we have to admit. We have to admit where we are. I'm where I am because I've gone as far as I can go. And 2026 is finna go. And I'm going to tell you something about 2026. It's going to pass real fast. It's going to pass so fast, you're going to be saying, I can't believe this year is over. Have you said it before? But it's even more now because of global warming. We have a lot of things happening in our country. We have too many space shuttles going up. We got too many people don't tell us the truth. We got people that may lose their benefits. Military's benefits are going slower. So we got health problems, and we got health insurance. I could tell you all the bad stuff, but I'm going to tell you all the good stuff. All the good stuff is you got something to deal with it. You got something that can help make the bumps in the road a little bit easier. And then you got enough to help somebody else up. Tell them to come sew on some buttons. Tell them to come paint these lampshades. Tell them to come blow some balloons up. You're going to do a birthday party. Because we need to make sure that we got some cushion. We need to make sure that we got more than enough. And we don't need to be sitting on pride like, I just sold this, I'm all right today. No, because people are shopping when you sleep in them. Wherever you are right now, if you get set up online, your best sales is going to come between 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning, no matter what time zone you're in. People are going to look at what you put out there. They're going to look at what you have. They're going to compare it to other sites, and they're going to make a decision. Do I want to buy from her, or do I want to buy from him? Or do I want to trust the reviews? Do I want to see how many they sold? Do I want to see how she responded to something? Okay, because if someone give you a bad review, like I'll say, oh, I see you had a problem with that. I'm sorry you felt that way. Thank you for your purchase. Would you like to exchange that? Oh, no, I'm going to keep it. So what you do, you write the review. I thank the client for making a purchase with me. I did offer them to exchange it, and they were happy to say they want to keep the item. So when you respond to a bad review, that makes you human. Okay. Because I know if some of you are doing a lot of talking online and stuff, AI will come up and tell you what you should respond. Like if you just want to say thank you, AI will already type out thank you, and you hit thank you. Or it might say something crazy and you'll say, that's not what I want to say. So when you respond, or when you talk, or you type out your item, make sure it's not AI. Make sure that it is a person that's doing it. And I'm gonna tell you why. If a person feel like your item is from China, and they'll say, I want a refund, I don't like this, da 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 da, they don't connect with you. So they're easy to say a 1-star, or I hate this item, or blah blah blah. But when you start showing that you are a human, and that you made this, and that you touched this, and that you hand selected the fabric, not just saying it, but showing it. When you start showing the love and care that you gave that item, they're going to want you. Like that lady that I told you about, she just said, I need to send you some money. You helped me 2 years ago. Here's some money. I'm from Philly. You helped me. And I had to stroll back, and see the hats that I sent. I forgot. I'm a giving person. I just, when I see somebody going through it, I'll like, oh man, oh, I hate that. Oh, wow. What can I do? I just can make a hat. I mean, the hats I sell, that one probably was $75 or something. But she lost her husband. So by me shipping and everything, it was $85. But she sent the money. I just made it. I didn't make it to give it. I didn't make it to get money. I made it as a, here's something making help you. And then she just said, I'm strolling through my boxes. I'm going through things, and I'm just seeing something. I even see some earrings you gave me. I need to pay you for this because I haven't stopped wearing that. So anyway, back on topic. You have the gift. You have the gift to get out of almost any situation. And to get out of any situation, you have to give the creator credit, because he's already ready to get you there. He's ready to get you there. He's ready where money, can you believe this? That there are going to be some times where money is not going to be a problem. There are going to be some times you go in the store, you don't look at the price. There are going to be some times when you know what you have to have, so you get it, and you know the money going to come the next day. You don't know how it's going to come, but it's going to come the next day. You know what I mean? That's going to happen. There are going to be some times you're going to have to say, I know I got to spend this money. I need this back. I don't know where it's going to come, but it's going to come the next day. And it will. When you line yourself up, you're going to get whatever you desire. You're going to get whatever you desire. Whatever you've sowed, you're going to reap that harvest. Because there's one thing for sure. You reap what you sow. If you sit down and you sew a hat, you're going to look at that hat tomorrow and say, I made that hat. but you couldn't enjoy that hat if you hadn't sewn that hat, right? And once you sew it and you approve it and you show it, then that person gonna come and buy it, and they gonna buy another one and another one and another one. And when I start wearing these, I mean, it's gonna be cold tomorrow. It's gonna be 20 tomorrow. So I pull my stuff out. It's hot, so I want to show some other stuff. But I said, oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna go down to the food court. I'm gonna go down to the office. How y'all doing today? Guarantee you, I sell a hat. Now I don't want to sell a hat right now because I got all this stuff I gotta do. But tell you what, if they come in the store and I'll pick it up Friday. I'm gonna take that money. You got a scarf with it? Can you do it in pink and green? Can you do it in red and white? Can you do it in blue and white? Can you do it in blue and gold? You know, all the sorority colors. They're going to say, oh, where's mine? It's cold too. You know what I mean? So it's going to be all right. I want you to know it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Just get yourself lined up. Think beyond your imagination. Think beyond your friends that may be in the struggle. We're not going to call them cheap. We're going to say they're in the struggle. And you might be somebody they look up to. And they look up to you because you're doing something that they haven't done or something they can't do or something they can't imagine. So we won't call them cheap. We're just going to call them people that admire you, that can't afford what you have right now. And that's a good thing because you know what? If the person that you wanted to buy something from you and they had the means to buy, you will stop right there. You'll be like, oh, I sold a dress. I'm happy. You didn't know you could sell 100 dresses. You didn't know you could sell 10 dresses. You didn't know you could sell a dress a day. You didn't know you could make $500 a week and you only put in an hour. You can put, if you're making things online, put a cap on it for anywhere from 2 hours or less. If you're making something online, I'm going to say it again. Whenever I say it twice, I want you to get it, okay? If you're making something online, make it 2 hours or less to start off with because things happen and you may not have a lot of time to get it done. So if you sit down to make some hats, like I got about 10 hats to make by the 26th. What's that? Is that tomorrow? That's probably tomorrow. That's probably tomorrow. So I got 10 hats to make and mail out tomorrow. And I will get in early tomorrow and I will get them done and I will get them packed and I will get them mailed. I'll show you what I made. Hold on a second. I did start. Did start. I made this hat. I made this hat here with the mud cloth on it. This hat, now I don't know if it's a male or a female, but I made this hat. I made this hat. It's got a scarf with it. I made the focal point. I want this point right here, this little dot right here in the middle. And I made this carousel hat. And I made another, this hat right here. This is a bestseller right now. I made this hat. This black and white hat with all this frills on it. All right. So I have 10 hats to get out tomorrow. So I'll get in early before the mall opens and I'll make sure those hats are prepped, done, and inspected and packed well. And then they'll go out by 11:20. And then I will make more items. If I don't get them all done by 11:20, I will get the rest of them done before 5. And I will take the second run and make sure those hats all go out by the deadline. And then I will go online and I will tell everybody that the hats have been shipped on time, but please allow extra time because of the weather. So I will let everybody know on all my platforms that your items has been shipped on time, but due to the weather for this week, there may be a delay. And that's how I stay in good graces because you can't control the weather and my packages are coming in late. Okay, that I've ordered materials from. So they're coming in late. So it's fine. So you just do what you got to do. And you have to but I'm saying you won't know that. You think because you mail something that it's okay. You won't think unless somebody told you to tell the world that, hey, there's a disaster. and you may be in the middle of it. You may say it snows here all the time, but there may be, this storm is a once in a million storm. Ice, snow, rain, sleet, hail, flooding. Then after the snow melts, this is something we're not used to. Like not for the whole United States. That's why we gotta stop messing with Greenland. We ain't used to that ice. We gotta stop messing with people. God knows what He's doing, so we gotta be prepared. So what I'm saying is that when you get lined up and think bigger, because everybody here is a millionaire, and you already know that. So what you waiting on? What you waiting on? What you waiting on? It's right there. It's right there. You got what it takes to get you there. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care if it's rough right now, it's going to be better. I don't care if it's cold right now, it's going to be warm. I don't care if you got a headache. I got a neighbor that is paralyzed. He's paralyzed. But guess what? He go fishing almost every day with my husband. He's a white male, and he's a Trump supporter. They don't have nothing in common but fishing. And I told him, go with him. This man has to push himself out of his wheelchair with his hands. Get in my husband's truck. My husband get out. He get the boat up to the ramp. I'm going to film him and let y'all see him. He takes his body out of his wheelchair and gets in the boat. He fish on one side of the boat. My husband fish on the other side of the boat. They compete about who gets the most fish. And that's what I've been showing y'all. So what I'm trying to say, if God can do it to a paralyzed person, He take his fish and sell his fish. My husband take his fish and give it away. That's his only income besides his disability check. So God can do it. He ain't sitting in that wheelchair and having somebody feel sorry for him. He get his hands, he get up out that wheelchair, he put his body on that truck, he pull his legs up in that big old truck. He get out hey, look, he know how to pull around and get the wheelchair out the truck. He don't need no help. He get out the truck, sit in the wheelchair, roll to the dock, get his hips on the side of the dock, y'all, get in the boat and fish like crazy. And we can't make $100 a day? Come on now. God is a wonderful God. He put people in your life to show you. In fact, you know how you be thinking, man, who in the heck calling you at 5 o'clock in the morning? I said, who calling you at 5 o'clock in the morning? Oh, his name is Boogie. That's Boogie. Boogie. His name is Boogie because when he dances, he dancing in his wheelchair, right? So they call him Boogie. So his name is Boogie. Boogie called my husband to wake him up to go fishing. Now, he lived right directly in front of my house. So it's like, if you come outside, he already outside in his wheelchair waiting on him to pull up the truck. So what I'm trying to say, there is no reason we are financially challenged. I'm getting excited. There is no way that you can't make it beyond your means. There is no way that you on this by mistake. He can do it for you. He can do it for your family, and he can do it enough that you show others how to do it. I'm just a vessel to get you out the wheelchair. Are you broke right now? Get out that wheelchair. I'm here to tell you to get out the wheelchair, y'all. Because if you ain't making the money you need from your side hustle, you in a wheelchair. And you got all the blessings. You can pull yourself up. Look. You can pull yourself up. Can you pull yourself up? Now, can you take your legs and put them on the other side of the boat and get in the boat and fish? Now, some of y'all told me, I like your fishing story, but I'm too scared to get out there in that water. Hey, when you gotta eat and you need therapy, and ain't nothing you can do but trust God, you will do it. You will do it beyond your means. I'm telling you, you got everything it takes. You got every single thing that it takes. I don't care if you have to take the sheet off your bed and make a bow tie or make a skirt, like she said, a wrap skirt or a blouse. You know, you take some good sheets and make some good clothes out of it. Oh man. You can do some earrings. You can do some handkerchiefs. You can do, I mean, you got it. You got it. You got it. You got everything you need. You got everything you need. All you got to do is just say, Lord, save me from myself. Because we are our worst critic. Save me from myself. We are hurting ourselves by doubting our goals and doubting our accomplishments. You already made it. He just wants you to do better so you can do better. He wants you to do better so you can do better. Your life is a testimony. Your goals are achievable. There's nothing too hard for God. Throw your pole on the other side of the boat. You're not valued in your own country. You're valued outside of your country. Look, we got somebody tonight from Canada. You know what I'm saying? Canada say, what's going on in the United States? United States saying, what's going on in Canada? Because Canada spend more money. Canada know how to treat people. And so do United States. United States spend money. The United States like to buy stuff out of the country. Paris, Europe, they like to buy stuff out of the country. They want to see what we got going on. We want to see what they got going on. We want to say we bought earrings from Canada. We want to say we bought earrings from Paris. You want to say I bought something from the United States. Do you know they get excited about wearing something for the United States? So we got to keep it there. We got to keep United States in good standings with other creators. Other creators are looking at what are the United States designers doing, y'all. And we said we're doing a lot. We got it going on. We can't wait to meet y'all at boot camp, right? So we have the time of the world right now to make United States look good for creativity, for profitability, for encouragement, for enlightenment. So we can make our country look good for handmade crafters, no matter what it is, because people have always came to the United States because we have the freedom to see more things and get more imports. So we have the freedom to get that. So now let's take that freedom. Let's create as much as we can. Let's share it with as many people as we can. Let's get our prices right, and then always do volume pricing. Always do volume prices. The more they buy, the better deal you can get, but always make a profit. Okay. Save me from myself, Miss Pearl, you know, right? Because if you don't save yourself, who gonna save you? If you don't save yourself, can't nobody else save you. You know what I mean? I'm at work today. I'm the boss. But guess what? Hey, I'm going to work. I'm going to see what they're doing. I'm going to make sure my stuff is right because I know what time it is. So I'm going to go in for a couple of hours. What is it, 7 o'clock? I'm going to work another hour or two, and I'm going to go home. I'm going to feel good. I'm going to feel good because you guys charged me up. You asked some great questions, and you're going to be doing well. And then if you did just come on, go back to the beginning. And if you came on to the beginning and you left, I hope you came back to the end, because every single word that I share is from God. It's from the Creator. If you don't believe in God, it's from the Creator. And we want to make sure that we leave no soldier behind. All right. This is it. I'm feeling better. I got my allergy shots. They're starting to kick in, but I'm still exercising. So thanks for the prayers. Thanks for everybody. And I look forward to you sharing with me the sales you made from this week. And at all possible, let's get some coaching and get this money that you deserve so rightfully. And I'm going to say you deserve it and you need it. And if you don't need it, you need it for a rainy day. Okay? Bye-bye, everybody.